Hi everyone, good evening. Okay, good evening everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, um, so I think a quick revision will do. So yesterday we were discussing about data structure, right? So we discussed about two data structures, set and dictionary, right? What we're going to do today, we're going to start with a very important module called Numpy. And it is basically very important as compared to other modules because most of the maths we are going to implement using Numpy. So what we're going to discuss in today's class, we're going to discuss about NumPy. Let me first let you understand what is the learning goal, right? So the learning goal for today's class will be something called NumPy. So NumPy, what we will understand about NumPy, first we will understand what do you mean by NumPy, right? So the installation, the introduction to NumPy, introduction, right? So I will help you to understand what is this package and what is the purpose of using NumPy, for in which cases we should use NumPy. All of those introductory idea we will understand, and then we will discuss about different kind of techniques to create a NumPy array. So basically NumPy will give us arrays, right? So we are discussing data structure. We have discussed so far list, tuple, set and dictionary. These four data structures we have discussed so far, but we have not seen array anywhere. So we are going to discuss about arrays in NumPy. So we'll discuss how to create an array. So first we'll discuss how to create an array. Very important, several methods are there. We will discuss one by one how to create an array. Now, once we discussed how to create an array, then we will discuss different kind of array methods, right? Or basic methods which we can apply on the array. After we discuss this, we will discuss about some other operation, basically the mathematical operations, or basically there are two types of mathematical operations. One is your simple operations, and then complex math, right? Complex maths and linear algebra. So all of these things, how to apply on an array. This is what we're going to see. Let me repeat. So the learning goal for today's class is to discuss about a very important library of Python, that is NumPy. NumPy is a library which is useful everywhere in part 1 and part 2 in both the cases. In part 1, NumPy is useful to kind of implement many things when it comes to machine learning. In part 2, image processing. Most of the images are arrays. So you need to use NumPy for that. So you need to understand today what is NumPy, introduction to NumPy, how to create different kind of arrays, basic methods, simple operations. We will discuss how we can do some simple operations, complex maths and linear algebra. This is the takeaway for today's class. So first of all, let us understand what do you mean by NumPy, right? So NumPy is a third party library. It is not native to Python. What is native to Python means? Native to Python means when you install Python, you will not find something called NumPy. NumPy is an external third-party library. Anything which is external, we need to first install it. To use any external package, we need to first install it. Can anybody tell me what is the command in Python to install any package? What is the command to install any package?
Pip install.
pip install package name.
Yes, so we will be writing pip install NumPy, but we are using Anaconda. So it is already installed. In the very first class, I told you Anaconda along with Python, it will also install all of the important packages for us, right? So if I type this, it will show me NumPy is already satisfied. NumPy is already installed. It will throw me that message because see requirement already satisfied. And where I can find this NumPy package, where it is present inside my side packages. So you can also check, you open your Anaconda folder and go to your Python Inside Python, you have Python 37, and you follow this path and you will find inside side packages. Not only NumPy, bunch of many packages are already installed like Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib. So all of these packages are installed for you by Anaconda. Right, so NumPy is already there because Anaconda has installed it. I can directly import it. So once you have installed any package in Python, to use it, you need to import. So what I will write now is called import NumPy. So I just want to create an alias so that I need not to write numpy dot each time. Please mute yourself, everyone. Okay, please mute yourself, everyone. So what I have done, I have installed NumPy, already it is there, and then I have imported NumPy. So the first thing that we will discuss is how to create an array. So NumPy will give us different kind of arrays. So gradually when we discuss about NumPy more and more, you will understand why we are using NumPy, right? So first we will discuss how to create an array. We have discussed how to create a list, how to create a tuple. Yesterday we discussed how to create a set, and then also we discussed how to create a dictionary. Now we are going to discuss how to create an array. So in machine learning world, one dimensional array, we call it vector. What we call one dimensional array is called a vector, and two-dimensional array, or kind of more than one dimensional array, is called a matrix, right? So whenever I'm telling a matrix, you need to understand that array is more than one dimension, vector means one dimensional array. So how to create a vector or matrix or one dimensional and more than one dimensional? Using different functions. So what are the different functions? First function is I will call np dot array method is there. Which method? Array. Let's say I don't know how to write array. I don't know the spelling. Autocomplete. Which tab I will hit for autocomplete? Which tab? Tab.
Tab.
I need to press tab, right? So you can see here array, and then I can take help. Always for any method you can take help, and you can understand the method in a detailed way reading the doc string, right? Okay, so I understood that this is taking object. Everything in Python is an object. So first I will pass the data that I want to convert into an array, and then I will pass the d type. D type is nothing but the data type, right? So I understood this. What I want to do is let me create a NumPy array. So object. So let me create a NumPy array from my existing list. So this is my list. I am passing values. Let's say it's a nested list. The first is nothing but 90, and then 67, and then 89. And the second element of this list is nothing but first is your 32, and then 43, and then it is 67. And then let me create. So you can see this is a, please mute yourself, everyone. Yeah. So now you can see this is my array. This is my array. Let me name this array. This is array 1. So what is my array 1? Array 1 is an array. Which method I have used? Array method. So array method will take any data as input and it will convert it to NumPy array. Now I can create different kinds of array by setting the data type. And one of the property of array is it will take only same kind of data. It cannot take mixed data. You have seen mixed data is allowed in any other data structure in Python, but in arrays, mixed data is not allowed. Means what? One is string and one is number is not allowed. Let me do this thing. So let me write 90. Tell me, what is this 90? 90 is not a number, it is a string. So in my list, one element is string and rest all are number. So what will happen is if I run this code, every element of this array will be converted to a string. Now see, every element of this array is a string, sorry, is an integer. But if one element is string, array will not take mixed data. Mixed data means one element is string, other elements are numbers. So if I run this, see what happened? Anyone? What happened? Everything is converted to what type? String type. Is it clear? So array will always take similar kind of element, and you can decide what kind of element you want to create. For example, all the data element you want, let's say I will write d type. I will write d type equals to, let's say I will write int 32. So I want all the element to be 32-bit integer. So everything is converted to integer. You can see float 64. So d type method I will be using to create any particular or to set the data type of my array. I hope this array method is clear. Feel free to let me know if you have any doubt. So create array, the first method we have discussed. Now is called array function. Array function. And what is this array function will do? Array function will take any data structure as input and it will convert that data structure to array type. Is this clear? Is this array method is clear? Please say yes, yes.
Yes.
Ma'am, ma'am, one question here. How do I get to know that the array is 1D or 2D by looking at the output?
We'll discuss that. We'll discuss that in basic methods. So we are in creating. Once we create, we will understand how to understand the size, shape, and dimension of an array. We have methods. We'll discuss that. Okay. Now, once we understood about array,
Ma'am,
yeah,
one question is there. If the array is consisting of different data structures, then automatically it will convert everything into a string.
yes. If it is one value is also string, automatically it convert it to all strings. And if you don't want that, you can mention d type. Okay. Otherwise, automatically it will convert everything to string if one value is string, because it accept only same type. It does not accept mixed element. Now you can ask me why I'm learning this, right? This is a very common question many people ask. What I will do by learning all of these things? So entire machine learning. Can anybody heard about the machine learning library of Python? What is the machine learning library of Python? Anybody heard about it? Any idea? That's okay if you don't know. I will tell. But anybody heard? Like you must have heard about Numpy, Pandas, or something. So anybody heard about the machine learning library in Python language? sklearn, right?
Tensor, PyTorch.
Yes, so PyTorch, TensorFlow, I mean, sklearn is very famous, right? sklearn, scikit-learn or sklearn. So I'll give you one example. This is nothing related to this topic. Please do not confuse. It is just to let you understand how important NumPy is. So sklearn is just the high level API. In under this, like behind the scene, if you see what is happening, sklearn is using NumPy to implement all the mathematical models. So every machine learning is nothing but full of maths. Somewhere we will be doing factorization, somewhere we will be doing matrix multiplication, we'll be finding derivatives, we'll be finding so many maths calculations, sometimes power, sometimes rank. So all of this maths, to use this maths, it is using NumPy, and it is not allowing the users like you and me to go through all of that pain of implementing from scratch. It is giving us built-in functions. We are just calling this built-in function very complex math. Within 2-3 lines of code I can write. I just want to show you one example which we are going to do in this course. Algorithm called PCA. I just want to show you, right? Why I'm showing? Not to make you understand PCA, that we will understand when we go to machine learning. I'm just showing you how important what we are studying today, how it has direct correlation with machine learning, how it is very important chapter. So let us understand one algorithm. Let's say let's go to downloads and let me go to PCA, right? So if you see this, this is the PCA algorithm, right? So which we are going to discuss in the class when we go. So you can see, let me go down and show you. Don't worry, you will not understand the maths, but just see some maths, right? Some blah blah blah, some things we are doing. You can see here something called I. You can remember this is identity matrix, right? Multiplying I, lambda is a scalar, A is a matrix. Just now I told you more than one dimensional array is a matrix. So we are doing matrix subtraction. One matrix minus scalar into A. Something we are doing, something we are doing. And then finally, after all of these things, I have written down the steps. The first step is to find the covariance matrix. After that, the second step is finding eigenvectors and eigenvalues. And the last step is something we are doing, matrix multiplication. So these are the maths. Now, very good. We understood the math. Everything is nice. But how to write or use or implement this formula in real time so that I can use PCA to solve business problem. Let us consider we don't have NumPy, right? Or let's say mostly people will be using sklearn. I'll tell you what they will be doing if they are using sklearn. If you use sklearn to implement this PCA algorithm, let me show you how many lines of code. Just 3 lines of code you will be writing. Let me open one second. let's say this complex math, remember 3 steps. Again, I'm showing you. Step number 1, covariance, eigenvectors, eigenvalues. It's a complete matrix operations, lot of matrix operations we are doing. And finally, we are doing matrix multiplications, right? So 3 steps. So what I'm doing here in PCA, I'll go down and directly I'll show you the sklearn code. So if I'm using sklearn, how many lines I'm writing? Tell me. How many lines? sklearn is the library, by the way, for machine learning. So for machine learning implementation using Python language, we have a library called sklearn. So how many lines? Can anybody count? How many lines I'm writing? Don't worry, you'll not understand anything. I'm just showing you at high level. 3 lines. And 3 lines just. And are you getting anything what you're doing behind the scene? Nothing. Most of the data scientists, they say data science is easy. Why? Because they don't go through this way. They don't go through this way. They directly go through coding way, and they don't know what is happening behind the scene, and they kind of use this high level APIs, and they just use sklearn and write codes. Using sklearn writing code is very easy. Having said that, if that code is not working, if you have to do some changes, why n component is not 4, why it is not 3, why it is not 2, all of these things you can answer yourself if you know the theory behind it. It is like you don't know letters, you don't know the alphabets, and simply you have mugged it up. cat, rat, mat, all of these things you mugged up, but you don't know the letters, right? So fundamental is not clear. So, but anyway, that is not the goal here. The goal is sklearn. This is what you're going to do in real time also. Nobody is going to write the code from scratch. This is just for interview clearing and just for your own understanding. You're learning the maths, but businesses really don't care whether you know the maths or not until unless you give them good solution. So these 3 lines of code you're writing to implement. Behind the scene, what is happening? If you want to see behind the scene what is happening, you have to use NumPy. sklearn is using complete NumPy to implement this. See, I have implemented from scratch. See, step number 1, finding covariance matrix. So once I have found the covariance matrix, I told you eigenvalues, eigenvectors. Don't worry, you will not understand. Just I'm telling you NP, NP. Can you see NP? All of these things today we will discuss. So this linear algebra is a module. I'm just calling np.linear algebra and implementing this. After this, I'm doing a lot of things. And then sometimes I'm doing matrix multiplication. Can you see all of these things? See NP, NP everywhere. So here also I'm using NP. So like finally, what I'm doing here also, see matrix multiplication somewhere I have done. Right, see here. So this is um yes, h stack. So remember this methods. Today we are going to discuss h stack and then v stack. And then somewhere I'm creating arrays, and then we are multiplying. So there is dot product we are doing, right? One matrix dot product of another matrix. So linear algebra, 2 matrix dot product. So all of these things, what once you do, finally you will get this result. So this is your final result. So 0, 1. This is your final result, which the sklearn is giving just like that. If you, I think there is some error I'm getting, but I think this code is not up to date. Yes, this is the sklearn. This is the sklearn output, which is exactly matching with our output. Is it clear? Did you get a understanding what is NumPy now? This is a quick introduction to NumPy. Is it clear why NumPy is useful? Now you will ask me another question after looking this. We have SQL and everything. We have like high level APIs there. Why should I learn NumPy? First thing is you should learn NumPy to clear coding test. As a data scientist interview, full of maths, and most of the questions they will be giving is related to data science, not something related to data structure or very random some sorting algorithm kind of. If it is a complete bank kind of thing, maybe, but most of the company give data science related questions, and data science is math, right? And they will not allow you to use packages because they also know anybody can copy paste from sklearn 3 lines. They will tell you to implement from scratch, and the motto behind implementing from scratch is whether you understood that algorithm or not. That is the main thing that they want to see. If somebody is not clear about the maths, they cannot implement using NumPy. That's the first thing. Second, this is very high level kind of companies ask. Middle range company, they will give you a simple math and then they will tell you to implement. So first is for coding test clearance, and second thing is in real time, anywhere if you have to implement any math. I'll give you one real-time example. I'm working in a project where I have to predict capacities. Now I have current and I have voltage. I don't have capacities, right? Capacity means energy. It is megawatt hour. So there is a mathematical formula I need to implement. current into voltage is power. I need to calculate power, and then I need to integrate that power over time to get capacity. All of these things are so nice to kind of listen, but when it comes to coding, will sklearn help here? Tell me. Do you find any function in sklearn which will give you capacity from current voltage? Answer is no. So how you will implement? Using NumPy. So all of these methods that we are learning, someday in your life you will be using it. Okay, so this NumPy is actually very important. Everybody is clear why we are learning NumPy? Is this question clear from this PC example? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So if you know NumPy, you can write all codes from scratch, right? If you need some extra thing, let's say k-means algorithm is there in sklearn. In your data means is not working. Let's say you want to implement k-median algorithm. So you can write your own script. Just only thing you need to understand is the math. Once you understood the logic or math, write the steps line by line, you code it using NumPy. You don't need any package. Wherever package is available, you use it. Otherwise, if not available, you can code from scratch. So you're independent, right? Because every algorithm is actually, every package is using NumPy. This is the base library, fundamental library, on top of which many other libraries like sklearn, PyTorch, but not PyTorch. PyTorch has tensors. Same thing tensors are doing. If morning batch student can relate now, here arrays, NumPy, they're tensors. So using tensors, everything you can create from scratch. Okay, now you understood about a quick summary. Now we will discuss different kind of methods. One is your array method. Now you want
Ma'am,
a
here, what is the significance of D type here?
data type. So you can specify the data type of your element by writing D type. So I am saying create an array of integer 32-bit. So all the array elements are integer 32-bit. So D type is like I am specifying the data type of my array elements.
So by default, what is the value? How we can check it?
Ha, I'll tell that. Wait, so we are here. I already told you learning goals. We have long way to go. So we are in the very first create an array. After creating an array, all of your questions will be answered in basic methods. And all the maths we will do in basic, simple and complex linear algebra. Basic method will answer all your questions on what kind of operations I can do. First, let us understand how to create. Then we will go to operations. Now once is this, now you have seen one formula right here. See, in ML we have different kind of formula. One formula, let's say here is somewhere around you. If you see this, a v equals to lambda not 1, this let me show you this one. A minus lambda I equals to 0. So what is I is identity matrix, right? So like here many other algorithm uses identity matrix. Anybody knows the logic of identity matrix? If it is, if you remember, otherwise fine, I will tell you. Identity matrix. What is an identity matrix, anyone?
It's a square matrix where all the diagonal elements are 1 and rest of them are zeros.
Yes, it's a square matrix where the diagonal elements are 1 and rest all are 0. Now, I understood that, but how to implement, right? So we have direct method available. I no need to do anything. So what I will do is np dot e, y, and e. And in bracket, you just write any dimension, let's say 7. So as it is a square matrix means number of rows equals to number of columns. So if I'm writing 7, 7 cross 7, see, identity matrix is created. Now a minus, let's say array, this array 1, and I want to multiply. So there is a multiplication function, later we will discuss. So very easily you can implement any math equation. So first of all, we need identity matrix. How to create an identity matrix? So EYE function within bracket, you write the dimension. Only one dimension you can pass because it is a square matrix. The diagonal elements are 1, rest all are zeros. So we understood two methods. One is your array method. We understood identity method. Both of these methods we can use to create an array. Is there any other method? Yes. We have several methods. We have arrange method to create arrays. We have line space method to create an array. We have random module, right? Quickly we will see all of this, right? First, let us understand arrange. Now you will tell me what is this arrange method. Because you have learned this arrange method or range function in for loop. So I will be using arrange method to create continuous array. It will take 3 input. The first is your starting index. Let's say I want to create an array starting with 10, and it should go till 100. So I will write 101. if on, let's say not create so big array, let's say 21, 10 to 20. So I want starting should be 10, so I will write 10. Ending index should be 20. If ending is 20, I will write ending plus 1. Very important, pay attention. Ending index is exclusive. If I want till 20, I need to write 21. If I want till 100, I need to write 101, and then I will run it. So what happened? It has created a continuous array starting with 10, ending at 20, right? With a continuous number. And there is a step size also. The third parameter by default it is +1 +1. If you write 2, it will be 2 2 2 2 step size. 10 10 plus 2 12, 12 plus 2 14, 14 plus 2 16, 16 plus 2 18, and then 20. 3 means 3 3 3, 10 13 16, and so on. So this is your arrange method to create a continuous array, right? I think there is no doubt, right? Or it is having any doubt? Arrange method, is it clear? Arrange method.
21 also, madam.
21
Hello?
because I want to create till 20. So I want to create till 20. That's why I'm writing 21. So 21 means it is going till 20. So 20, 1, the ending index -1. Till that it will go.
Okay, madam.
Yeah. Now let's say I will tell you one more question. So that is create an array, right? Create an array within okay, so like starting index should be, let's say 10. Ending should be at, let's say 50, and within starting and ending I need 100 points. 100 points, or let me make it simple, right? Let me make it 20 points. 20 points within 10 to 50, 20 points. Using this logic you create an array. If you have certain logic like this, you can use line space method. Line space method, and you can simply write the starting index, that is 10, ending index is 50, and then how many points you want. Within 10 to 50 I want 20 points. Let me repeat. So starting index, ending index, and how many points you want, that is what your line space will do. So line space is taking 10 as starting, 50 as ending. So 10 and 50 both are inclusive, and within 10 to 50 you are writing 20 points. So 20, is it clear? 10, 50, and 20. Line space method is clear. Feel free to ask me if you have any doubt. I'm going very slow. So line space method, arrange method, all of this method so far, is it clear? Please say yes, yes if you get it. Is it
Yeah,
clear?
ma'am.
Line.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, ma'am, here array is used to I mean, for the continuous value, and this line space is used to get some decimal values in between the array.
Yes. So what I'm saying is from 10 to 50, you divide the 10 to 50 into 20 parts. What I'm saying, you divide 10 to 20, 10 to 50 into 20 equal parts. 10 to 50, you divide 20 equal parts. So getting 20 points. So within 10 to 50, you are getting 20 points. Okay. So that is what I am doing using line space method. Like that, I have so many methods you can go through. Like one other method is random method. Let's say you don't want anything. Let's say you don't want continuous array. You don't want to create an array from existing data structure, or you don't want to use line space. You want to create a random array so that you can do some testing, right? You want to create a random array so that you can do some testing on it. So you have your random module which will create random arrays. So you can call this a random function, np.random, and then you can call another function called random, right? You can call this a rand function or random function, and you can take help if you have any doubt what kind of array this will create. So you can see that this will okay, so this is random dot random, right? So this random dot random, what kind of create it, what kind of array it will create? It will create returns random floats, right? Within 0 to 1. So you'll find random floats within a interval of 0 to 1. Now you specify the size or dimension, and you write within bracket, you just write the size and dimension 2, 3. And then if you run this, you will find an array of 2 rows and 3 columns. Let me repeat. Now what we are discussing is different kinds of methods that is available to create an array. We discussed about different methods: array method, line space method, arrange method, I function. Now we are discussing about random function. So this random function will take the size, like the dimension, how many rows, how many columns, and it will create a random array of floating numbers starting with 0 and 1. Like this, you have different functions inside random also. If you want, let's say, random integer numbers or random floating point numbers, you can use different functions. But no need to remember everything. I'll tell you which is very important. This is just to know. If you want, you can forget, because this is not very useful.
So,
Array function
ma'am,
is
by
nothing but
default,
just
we are getting only this decimal values. Is it possible to get integer values?
what in random. Yes, rand int you can use.
Not
There
in
is a,
random, ma'am. In every case, we are getting
yes, it's
float
possible.
values.
We can do type conversion. We'll discuss in basic method. Now only I will discuss that. We can do conversion to any type, right? So is the create is clear, everyone? So what all functions we have used in create? Tell me. Array, identity matrix, arrange, line space, and random. Is this clear? Create array. Create array is clear. So see, again, let me show you the learning goals. First, we are learning about create an array. So I think this is where we are. After this, we will see basic methods. Once we create an array, how to change the data type, how to see the dimension, the size, lot of functions we will see here. But before we jump here, I want to check whether everything is clear on creating arrays. Is it clear? All of these 5 methods is clear?
Yeah,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. Now, once we created lot of arrays, right? Now we have created lot of arrays. Now, once we have created all of these arrays, how can I do some basic operations or basic methods? What are the basic methods that I can apply on these arrays? Let us see one by one. So what is the very basic method is how I will know the dimension of my array. How I will know the dimension of my array. So let me write array 1. So what is this array 1? This is my array. So there is a method called shape method. The first method is something called shape method. What is this method? Shape method. So what this method will do, this method will tell you the dimension. So what I will do, array dot shape. So what is this coming? This is 2 comma 3. So 2 comma 3 is nothing but 2 rows and 3 columns. You want to see? Again, let me print. So how many rows, how many columns? 2 rows and 3 columns. And every method that we are discussing, you need to remember. I will tell you which one to remember, which one to kind of not so important. Array creation, you can remove, you can only remember arrays. Rest all you just understand. Array methods, everything you need to remember. All the methods that we are discussing, you need to by heart, you need to remember. Every time you will use it. So first is, give me 1 minute. ନାଇଁ ବାପା ଯାତ୍ରାକୁ ବାବା ଅଜାଙ୍କ ଫୋନରୁ କଲ୍ କରେ ଯା. I'm so sorry. My kid is yeah, so what I was saying is shape function. So shape function is nothing but you're giving you the dimensions, right? So 2 comma 3 means 2 rows and 3 columns. 2 comma 3 means 2 rows and 3 columns. Now what I want is I want to understand how many elements are present in this array, right? So what method I will use? Size method I will use. So what is the size method? Size method will give you how many rows and how many columns. Total how many elements are there, that you will understand. So tell me how many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are total 6 elements are present. Right? So we understood about shape, we understood about size. Not only that, we have one more method also called ndim. So what is this ndim method will tell us? Ndim method will tell us the dimension, whether it is 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional. What is the dimension, right? So I will write array dot. So can you tell me which dimensional data it is? Which dimensional array this is? Two-dimensional, right? Two-dimensional. So I will just write n-dimensional, and you can see it is 2. So let me summarize. So we have 3 methods: shape, size, and ndim. For what? To understand the dimension of an array. To understand the dimension of any array, we have shape method, size method, and n-dimensional method. right? Now you are asking how to convert one type to another type. So type conversion, what method I will use to change the data type from one type to another type? So there is a method called Htype method. What is this method name? Htype method. And what is this Htype method will do? It will help us to change one data type to another data type. So let me first show you this array1. So what is this array1 type? Array1 is integer, right? First of all, I don't know whether it is integer that I know, but inside integer also we have different types, like integer 32, integer 64. I don't know what is this. So is there any method which will print the data type? Answer is yes. So I will write here, what is the method name? I will write here dtype.name method. So let me write it. dtype.name method. So what is this dtype.name method will do? It will print the data type of your array. Let me repeat. dtype.name will print the data type of your array. So let me write this. What I will do? Array1 dot dtype dot name. So what type it is? This array elements. What type? It is int 32-bit. Now, once I understood the data type, what I want is I want to convert it. In this case, for conversion, I will be using Htype method. So I'll write array1 dot Htype, and within bracket, I will write to what type I want to convert. Now you tell me what type. Let's say float. I want to convert, let's say float. Let's say float 32. This is int 32. I want to convert it to float 32. So see, it has been converted to float 32. Using which method I have converted? Htype. And within bracket, you write the type to which you want to convert. To float or to int or to int64, float 64. So to what type you want to convert, you can write the type. Let me repeat. So we are discussing different methods. Once we discussed how to create, we are discussing different methods that we can apply on an array. So these are called some basic methods. So what basic methods so far we have discussed? Shape, size, n dimensional, and ending method we have discussed about. dtype.name we discussed about. Htype. So far all clear? I'll stop here. All of these methods, is it clear? Any doubt?
Yeah, ma'am.
Clear. Okay, every method you need to remember. Every method, all of this method are super important. You need to remember. Okay. Now, once you understood how to change one type to another type, we will discuss. I know this is too much for you to take all of this method, but don't panic. We have a cheat sheet. I'm going to share that one pager for NumPy. Like how I am writing here in that note, it is everything is there in one page. So before your interview, you just go through that one pager. That is sufficient, right? And as I'm saying, what is with the use, you will remember everything, right, with time. So don't worry, just high level you understand now, and with practice you will remember everything. Okay, now there is another method called reshape method. So what is this reshape method will do? Reshape method will change one type to another type. I'll tell you what is doing, right? So what is this array? Array is a array1. What is the size of this array? 2, 3. Can you tell me total 6 element? How I can write 6? One way I can write 6 is 2, 3. Can you tell me any other way to write 6? Keeping total element constant, what other shape I can write?
Giga
1 into
button.
6.
Yes. 3,
3 star
2.
2, madam.
Yes. And
And
One,
1,6.
1 star 6.
1 star
one
6.
six,
Yes.
6*1.
6 star 1.
One asterisk 6, 6 asterisk 1.
Yes, everything I can write. 2 star 3, 3 star 2, 1 6, 1 star 6, 6 star 1. So all of these things I can write. So reshape method will allow you to change any of the shape. So using reshape method, you can change one shape to any other shape. So let's say this array is 2, 3. What I want is I want to change this array to, let's say, array 2, which is nothing but 6, 1. How to do that? So I will write array1 dot, I will call a reshape method, and within bracket I will write the new shape. Now it is 2, 3. I want to change it to 6, 1, and see what is happening. It is changing to
Okay.
6, 1. So what this reshape method will do, as the name is saying, reshape, right? You change the shape again. So reshape means, but can I change it to any shape? Answer is no. You have to keep the number of elements constant. So keeping the number of elements constant, with that element, number of element, whatever shape is possible, all of those shape you can change by calling reshape function. Reshape, and within bracket you pass the size. That is your reshape.
Ma'am,
Now,
which?
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're asking something. No, you can ask. Amarnath, you're asking something. Is it
Something is
clear?
No,
cancelled,
ma'am,
but
no.
Madam, here 6 represent for rows and 1 represent for columns, madam.
6 rows and 1 column, right?
6 represent for rows, madam.
6 is row and yes, 1 is column. 1 column, 6 rows.
Okay, madam.
Okay. Now, like reshape, we have another method. All of this method just understand and remember. So we have a Ravel method. Ravel method. Now I will call Ravel method. I think this is not a okay. So actually this is a view. Okay, this has not changed anything to array1. Whatever you are looking is just a view. If you see array1 will be 2, 3 only. Right, array1 will be 2, 3. So whatever you're looking is just a view. If you really want to change, you have to assign another variable which will hold this value. So array2 will be 6, 1 now. If you see this, array2 is a new array which will hold the new value. Sorry, this is array2, right? It is 6, 2. Now, what we are discussing is just the reverse of reshape. So reshape will change any shape to any other shape, keeping the number of elements constant. There is one more method called Ravel method. Ravel method. Ravel method, you tell me what it is doing. Or maybe I will tell you because you don't know, right? Let me explain. The Ravel method, any dimension, doesn't matter what is the dimension, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2-dimensional, 5-dimensional, 10-dimensional, whatever n-dimensional data will be converted to one-dimensional. N-dimensional data will be converted to one-dimensional. Ravel method. It will convert any dimensional data to one-dimensional. It will flatten. So many times in deep learning, machine learning, we need all of these methods. See, whatever we have learned, many of this, see in the code, I will show you most of these things I am using. Sometimes reshape, sometimes Ravel. All of these methods, many times you will use. So let me repeat. So what we have seen so far, we have seen reshape method, and then we have added one more method called Ravel method. Right? Is this clear? Reshape and Ravel. Is it clear?
Yeah, ma'am.
Right, what else we can do? Shape, size, number of dimensions, data type we can print, we can convert one type to another type, we can understand the shape, we can change the shape, reshape and Ravel. We can stack different arrays or join. Basically stacking is nothing but joining, right? We have two kind of stacks. One is your H stack and one is your V stack. So there are two methods, H stack and V stack method, so which will help us to join our arrays, right? So we'll discuss how to join our arrays using VStack and HStack. Having said that, when it comes to Pandas, Pandas is super kind of user friendly when it comes to joining, merging, concatenation. And you have to write single line of code to convert NumPy arrays to Pandas data frame, Pandas data frame back to NumPy arrays. So hence any kind of joining, don't use NumPy, you use always Pandas. But it is there, so that's why we are learning, right? VStack and HStack is something called joining two arrays. So what is my array1? Let me show you what is my array1. Array1 is what is the dimension? 2, 3. Let me create another array. np dot, I'm calling this array method, and what I'm doing is I'm creating, let's say, array2. This is, let's say, my array3. Let's say this is my array3 that I'm creating. Same dimension I'm creating. Let's say 2, 3. So first elements are 87, 32, 97, 3. This is my first row, and what is my second row? Second row is, let's say, 43, 21, and let's say 83, right? And both are nested list. Okay, so this is my array3. Let me show you what is my array3. So this is my array1 and this is my array3. So what I want is just see array 1 is 90, 67, 2, 3, array 3 is 2, 3. I want to join these two arrays horizontally and vertically. So when I'm doing V stack, it will nothing but it will just join one on top of another. So first array 1 and then it will just join these two arrays like this vertically. So this is your V stack. H stack means it will come here and it will join here horizontally, row wise. So we'll see by coding and then we will understand one by one what I'm saying, right? Let us first use the method hstack, right? Horizontal stack. So we have np inside numpy. We have a method called hstack method, and you can see what this hstack is doing. It will take two arrays as input. Let's say what are the two arrays? Array 2, and I have one more array 3. And then let's see what is happening. See, I'm doing
Array 1.
something.
Array 1, ma'am.
Yes. This is array 1. Yeah, array 1. Right? So what it has done, so dimension should be same, isn't it? For horizontal stack, can you tell me what should be same, rows or columns? If I'm doing horizontal stack, what should be same, rows or columns? Okay, first let me explain what is horizontal
Rows.
stack, rows, right? H stack. So can you see this data? So if you see the data, you can understand 90, 67, 89, 32, 43, 67. Array 2 is, array 1 is as it is. Array 3 is joining it, joining array 1 horizontally. So for H stack, rows should be same. If rows are different, I cannot do H stack. Columns can be anything, but rows should be same. So 2 rows in array 1 means 2 rows should be present in array 3. Otherwise, it will throw you error. Similarly, vertical stack, can you tell me what should be same in vertical stack? What should be same?
Column.
Column should be same, right? So what I will do, np dot, I will call this function called vstack, and again I will write the same thing, right? I just want to add array 1 and array 3, right? So this is sometimes helpful. We'll understand later where we can use vstack and hstack, but you can see hstack I have done. So 90, 67, 89, 32, 43, 67. Below that, the another array is added vertically. What happened? The another array has been added vertically, right? So we have understood about vstack and hstack. Let me know if you have any doubt. Hstack and vstack, is it clear?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. So like NumPy, like our Python has its own data types, isn't it? Python has its own data type. We have data structures and data types. Similarly, NumPy has its own data type. If you go to the lecture note, you will find the official documentation site of NumPy where you can find different data types. But some of the common data types you already know is number. So basically we have float type, and then we have integer type, int32, int64, float32, float64. And then we have different other types, like we have string type, string and object types, right? Basically for string data, we have string or object types. We have object types. So all of these types are present. Maybe data type I can show you in the main file, right? I will take you to the official site. Okay, so let me repeat once again. So we are in basic methods. Apart from that, different basic math also I can apply. Math operations we will discuss in the next section. So shape, size, endim, data type, h type, reshape, Ravel, hstack, and vstack. Let me quickly revise. Let me check how much you remembered. Can you tell me what this shape will do? Shape. What this will do?
How many numbers of rows and columns are there in a matrix? I mean, in an array that will show dimension. Yeah.
A dimension, or yeah, I can write dimension. Rows or columns, right? Rows, comma, columns. Okay. Now size. What the size will do?
How many
How many
elements
elements
are
are
there?
present? Count.
Yes.
Like
How
count.
many elements? Yes. How many elements are present? Number of elements. Yes. And then dim. What this will give you?
Dimension of
Dimensional array. Either 2 by 2 or
Dimension.
3 by 3 like that.
The dimension.
Yeah, high level
Number of
dimensions.
dimensions.
Yes.
yeah.
Now d type dot name.
It's a type like
Integer to
It's
float
a
or float to integer.
Yes,
This is the
print
chapter.
Print data type.
data type. It will print the data type, right? It will print the data type. Okay, now what is this H type will do?
For conversion,
We'll
I mean from the
conversion.
point
We'll
of view.
change
Convert
the
the
data
float
type.
data type
Yeah, one
or
time.
integer data type.
Yes, any type to any type it can convert. Reshape.
2 by 3 or 3 by
Reshape
2 we have
method
to
to
Yes,
to produce the data from shape.
change the
It
shape.
is shape.
it will change the shape, right? It will change the shape. Ravel method, what it will do?
it convert only one dimensional array.
Yeah.
Yes, anything convert to one dimensional,
One
1D.
dimension.
H stack, what it will do?
Horizontally.
All the elements have converted into horizontal.
Yes, join horizontally. Now what this V stack will do?
Join
We have to
vertically.
convert into
Join
vertical,
vertical.
join vertical, line
Join
by line.
vertical, right? Yes. Okay, column wise and join, and that is row wise join. So I think these all methods you remembered and you need to remember, right? All of this method we will be using most of the time in the coding test. We will not have time to search internet, right? Though we will get help from internet and there is no restriction. You can take help from Google. Having said that, time will be wasted, right? So these are basic methods. So what we have seen so far, we have seen two things. We have not completed NumPy. I'll continue. Array, how to create an array and how to like basic operations. These two basic methods and create array. What all things are there is basically the math things is present. So math means how to do matrix multiplication, dot product. Please mute yourself. Yeah. How to find eigenvalues, eigenvectors. What is rank, power? What kind of different maths functions you have to apply. Please mute yourself, everyone. Yeah. So please mute yourself. Amarnath, can you mute? Others, please mute yourself. Uh, Pratima, please mute. Okay.
I
So
think
I
it's
think we
attend
have,
11.
yeah, you're saying something?
No, I think it's attend 11. I know need to
Oh,
mute. So I was just
okay.
calling out. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, no problem. That's okay. I think I have muted. Yeah. So introduction and creating an array, and then basic methods we have discussed. We have some other operations, basically the math operations. After this, we will understand, we understood about basic methods and creation. We will understand operations. What kind of different math? Let's say equation is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So a is a matrix, we need to do a square of matrix, right? Sometimes in some math operation, we need to do singular value decomposition, matrix factorization. Sometimes we need to kind of multiply to matrix. Dot product we need to do. Sometimes we need to find square root, exponential, trigonometric functions. All of these things, how it is possible using NumPy arrays. So that is pending. We will see all of these things tomorrow's class. We'll continue. Simple operation, complex maths, and linear algebra. I'll see tomorrow. Now people who are joining morning class can understand many of these things, isn't it? So all of these things we will use the same using creating tensors. Most of the functions are same. Most of the functions like identity, arrange, line space, random, all of these things are same. Here instead of array, we will be using which method? Tensor method to create tensors, right? Anyway, that's a different thing. But yeah, you need to join tomorrow's class. We'll complete NumPy tomorrow. And there are assignments on NumPy. There's a very good question I will be uploading. I think I already uploaded or I will be uploading. I don't know. I'll check. There is one question on NumPy. So basically the question I will tell you. So there is a array, right? There is an array. You need to split an array into two parts called training and testing in such that each element of that array will be present at least one time in the training set and at only one time in the testing set. I know you did not understand, and that is the reason I am not explaining a lot. You find the logic by yourself and read the question again. So let me know if you could not understand. I'll explain again, but that is the question. It is from JP Morgan. for data science interview, right? It's a coding test. Time was 40 minutes. This is the logic. You take an array's input, you divide that array into two splits like training and testing, such that each element will be present at least one time in the training set and only one time in the test set. That is what it was written, only these lines. And some examples were there. Right? So I think you got an idea, right? Is it a kind of question which you can implement using sklearn? Answer is no. Is it something where you can get answers from Google? If you Google also, you will waste your time. You will not get any solution for this question. So what you can learn from this coding exercise is good companies, they will not give you any question which is easily search you can do in internet and find a solution. Most of the questions will be kind of created by them using some logic. So what is the objective? The objective is to check your analytical skill. Are you able to understand the logic? First thing. Second thing is, are you able to implement the logic using base libraries like Numpy and Pandas instead of using packages like sklearn? Right? Okay, so that is your assignment. Please do it and let us connect tomorrow and we'll continue with Numpy.
Okay.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, yeah, if you think you from your side lot of noise is there, you can type your questions in the chat window also. I am looking at the chat window and I will answer. Numpy assignment is not uploaded. I don't know. Let me see that, right? I will check. If it is not uploaded, I will be uploading it.
Ma'am, can you provide the previous batch recordings? It will be helpful.
Who is saying this? Ajay?
Yep, Lipsa.
Lipsa. Yeah, Lipsa,
Yes.
you can talk to Bhavani ma'am once your enrollment is confirmed. She will provide
Ma'am,
you.
I already enrolled.
Check with
The
Bhavani
same
ma'am.
in previous class.
Yeah, check with Bhavani ma'am. She will add you to previous batch recordings.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, also, you did mention something about you're trying to update the content to add better projects for this particular course, if I'm not wrong. So is that something that's ready?
Actually, yes. So the things are almost ready, but only thing is uh, the projects are ready, but the content again I need to kind of change some of the things. The content almost like till statistics it will be same, right? Till plotly statistics it will be same, no change. When it comes to machine learning, yes, there will be changes. So changes in the sense most of the things are newly added, which was not there. In the previous batches, like outlet detection and class imbalance, these are the new topics which I'm going to add, right? Having said that, there are a lot of practical things that I'm going to add. I found lot of useful packages in Python, right, which will make your life super easy. So those kind of thing we will discuss in the coding sections project when we will do, right? I'll tell you different functions like that, which will make your life super easy and super when you will be benefited using those packages. So those kind of things we need to see. Yes, the thing is pending from my side and I could not again maybe this Friday I will be able to share with everyone the updated syllabus. So the updated syllabus is same as what you see. With that you will find additional content. That is what I can tell you. Every topic will be same with some additional content like outlet detection and class imbalance. These two topics I'm adding in part 1. In part 2, almost 95, I mean part 2 is very well structured. I don't want to change anything there. Only thing is GCP I'm going to add. And what I'm thinking is one deep learning code I will show you on cloud. That is what I'm planning this time. Let's see. So instead of big data, I'm planning to show you how to implement deep learning codes on cloud platform instead of taking this Google Colab. Till now we are using Google Colab, but I'm thinking to, it is not free. That's the only thing. I have to take the subscription for that. But anyway, that's a good thing for everyone. So like I will show you how to in real time. Mostly you will be using cloud, right? You will not be using Google Colab. So I'll tell you how to use GCP and submit your deep learning job there. That is newly added. So that's called deployment of your deep learning model on cloud platform. That is added. Rest all content will be same in part 2. Okay. Expected output input. Yeah, let me see how I can, if it is not very clear, I will make it clear, the assignments. Feel free to ask me the assignment doubts, right? Nobody is asking. I think you have not started yet, but start doing the assignments and feel free to ask me if you have any doubt in any question. Feel free to ask me in the class. I'll explain you what is the question is about. Okay.
Yeah, I had to start that, so I think we should.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. So you can
Kana,
start. And this one more
no, madam, I have
announcement I just want to do. This Friday, there will be no class for both advanced and this intermediate. I just want to stop everything for one day. Many people have so many pending work I can see, right? Many have joined this week, many joined last week. So there are so many topics you need to cover from your side. Some people has not even installed Anaconda yet. And if I complete many topics, you will find little difficult following me. So I just want to give you 3 days break and don't like make sure everything you are completing within these 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you make yourself kind of whatever we are covering till that point. You should cover all the topics, right, before you join Monday's class. Okay. Okay. If we are all good, right?
hello,
Any
madam.
doubt you? Yeah.
Hello, madam. Actually, I
Yeah,
have some
Manna.
work on image presentation, like yoga poster detection, like that, on image processing. I need to develop that project. How can I need some
YOLO
help from
modeling,
you.
there are different kind of yoga poster is a very common project. You can find lot of code in GitHub. Mostly they use this fast mask RNN kind of YOLO modeling, object detection.
Yeah, I
So
need
yeah,
to extract the skeleton information from image, skeleton information like
so
that.
for going there, lot of things are needs to be covered. We are in a very beginner stage. We don't even know what is deep learning. So let's cover the first fundamental things, and then let us build the advanced models on top of that. Right, let us first understand what is our image, right, and then let us understand the basic terminologies like blurring, smoothing, all of that things. Then let us understand what is the basic models like CNN, RNN, LSTM, ANN. Let us build some simple projects, and then we will think about object detection, right? That's an advanced project. For that you need to complete some of the basic things first.
Can I
Okay,
share like the paper, the project paper? How
see,
can
no
I
need
share
to
you?
share anything with me. I have no time to go through that. I think yesterday also you asked me, right? PhD thesis. Are you the same one? Ajay, I think you asked me right yesterday about the PhD. So please don't ask me to go through any paper. I have lot of paper to read myself for my office. I really don't have time to read your paper. Having said that, as I said, those are very common things. If you go to internet, you will find hundred of blogs and posts about yoga. So that's a very many apps are also developed, right? So what I'm saying is the basic algorithm I'm saying that they are using. Having said that, you are in very beginner stage. I mean, you're jumping. So you don't know 1, 2, 3, 4 class. You're asking me about 12th class. So you will not even understand a single line if I tell you now. So to reach there, you have to spend some 2, 3 months time. There are lot more milestone you need to cover. Then only you will
Okay,
able to
fine.
understand those blocks, right? If you understand these things, then those blocks yourself only you will understand. You don't need me. If you read, you will understand. Okay, so that is what it is. Let us connect tomorrow and we'll continue from here. Okay, thank you everyone.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.